Coach Josh, live from Training for Warriors Portland, and today I'm going to talk to you about one of my favorite topics. It's about how to, one, naturally improve your own testosterone production and the amount of T that you got in your system, and two, enhance your recovery. And those are closely related because testosterone is a huge hormone when it comes to building muscle, burning fat, and helping you feel good. So today I just wanted to share with you some basic concepts. I've been talking a lot about this lately on things that you can do to enhance your own testosterone production, and it's actually pretty simple. And whether you're a man or a woman who has health and fitness goals, testosterone is hugely important, and it's a pretty fragile hormone. And so there's a lot you can do to manipulate it, whether it's down-regulate your testosterone or up-regulate it. And I just wanted to share a couple of ideas with you about how to do that. So I guess the number one is the way to think about how your body is producing testosterone and building muscle and burning fat and recovering. And I think about driving a car, and you can go faster one of two ways. You can put the throttle down, which, you know, rev the engine, give the engine more gasoline so you can go forward, and then you can also go faster by taking your foot off the brake. And both of those things are work together to make you move forward faster. And it's the same with your own body and how well you recover and your hormones. You can do things that improve your own production of testosterone, and at the same time you can do fewer of the things, or you can mitigate some of the detrimental effects that your lifestyle has on your own hormone production. And I'll show you a couple of the big ones with you today, and I'll answer some questions too. If you have any questions, you could post them in the comment section below, and I'll get to them in a little bit. But the biggest one, some of my favorite things that you can do to pick up your level of testosterone is lift heavy weights. Lift heavy and lift pretty often. And by heavy, I mean something that is at 70% of your 1 rep max or above. And if you don't know what that means, go talk to somebody who lifts and they'll get into it with you. But it's lifting something that's pretty challenging, something to be tough to do for more than 8 or 10 reps. Do that a couple of times a week, and the body will naturally want to repair the muscle that you're abusing, and it'll build you up, so it'll cause your testosterone to come up naturally. And so I'd say lift heavy, and then I would also say lift often. You know, so those are two things. 2 or 3 times a week is what I mean by often, and heavy is something that's, you know, tough to do more than 8 or 10 reps of. Those two things are my favorite things to do. I'm big in the gym. We do that here, Train for Warriors, every day. We're lifting weights to some degree, and we're moving quickly. And that's actually the next thing I wanted to talk about is sprinting. Now, sprinting is a great movement. It's natural. It's a body weight movement that you can do that really uses pretty much every muscle in your body, and it's something that we all, you know, kind of learn to do as kids, and we get away from it as adults. But it's something that's pretty fun when you get out there. And now you want to warm up properly for that, and you want to make sure that you're giving your body a chance to be successful. So you want to do movement prep, and you know, you want to make sure that you're injury free, obviously, before you start that. But sprinting is something that doesn't take any equipment. You can do pretty much today if you just walk outside and, you know, get out on the sidewalk and go, or go to a park. So you can really easily give yourself a great sprint workout. And there's lots of places you can go, and if you don't know where to start, you can go ahead and message me, and I'll hook you up with some ideas. But sprinting is something that do at least once a week. It's going to make get you some cardio, get that heart rate up. Use every muscle in the body. Really give yourself a boost of your natural testosterone production as well. And the body likes moving fast, so that's something that you can do almost immediately, and that's something that we love to do here at Training for Warriors. So lift heavy, sprint. Those are two of the big ones. And then your diet has a lot to do with how your body processes and produces testosterone. So zinc, foods with zinc in them, inside of them, but most of us will need to take a zinc supplement. And the bonus with when you eat more zinc or you take a zinc supplement is you also usually get better sleep. So zinc is a crucial factor in testosterone production, and if you get a chance to pick up some zinc supplements, take that between 50 and 200 milligrams. Read the bottle. I'm not a doctor or an expert by any means, so do a little bit of research, but see what you can do to get some zinc into your diet, and that will make you feel better, and it'll enhance your sleep. So that's those are two easy things that anybody can do. And while on the subject of sleep, getting good sleep, getting sleep quality and quantity. So we just talked about zinc and how that helps you sleep, but it's also going to bed at the same time, waking up at the same time, preferably early, right? Preferably early. Get up before the enemy. Get up, go lift heavy. Get up early and go lift, and then you'll be tired and you'll get good sleep at night. So those things work together. Yeah, it's a synergistic, it's a virtuous cycle that happens. So, get good quality sleep. That means leaving the electronics out of the bedroom. That means not watching TV, getting the blue screens out of your, at least an hour before bed, and having consistent bedtime and waking time. And those things will help you, insulate your bedroom from, light pollution, and you're going to get a higher quality of sleep. You're going to be more rested, and all that just speeds up your recovery. And this is going to make you feel good anyway, but it's going to help boost your testosterone, which is going to give you just better results from your training. So, sleep quality and quantity, two big items. And then finally, just protein. Eat the protein, and every fitness person probably talks about this on a daily basis, but you want to have more protein than your body needs to build new muscle and to repair your amino acids are what your body's made out of. It's involved in so many processes. You got to have it, so you need enough bioavailable protein to get the work done. So make sure you're eating protein, and if you're a vegetarian or you don't eat a lot of meat, make sure that you're getting your supplements, whether it's through a shake or whatever method you use to get protein. You're getting plenty of that every day. So those are some of the big things that you can do to really improve your testosterone. That would be like putting the foot on the gas pedal, so to speak, on the car. And then a couple other things on taking your foot off the brakes and trying to mitigate some of the things that you're doing to slow yourself down. And a couple of them is, trim up. I read a book on the endocrine system very recently. I think the title of the book was Testosterone, but we talk about how hormonally active the visceral fat is in the human body, and how we're finding that people who have a lot of visceral fat have much different hormone profiles than your average American. And so trimming up, doing what you can to work on the diet to lean out so that your hormones naturally come into balance more. That's a big one. And obviously, if you're eating to get more testosterone, you're lifting heavy and you're working out and you're sprinting, you're probably already doing all those things. So this is like the synergistic effect of the behaviors that increase testosterone. You're mitigating some of these other breaks on the system. And then talk about avoiding foods that have lots of estrogen and or estrogen-like compounds. And I've read a lot about soy. That people tell me that's a big one. I don't eat a lot of soy. I can't comment on anybody I know that has a lot of soy in their diet anyway. So maybe I'll post some stuff written about soy and foods that contain estrogen, so I can get some literature on that. But avoiding estrogen, and then mitigating stress. So like doing stress reduction techniques. And this is a really popular, in fact, I think this is necessary for survival, because if you're like me, you got a lot of balls in the air and there's a lot of things you're trying to juggle, you're going to have a lot of stress in your life. And I meditate on a daily basis. I try to work out every single day, doing something, because the movement is so key to getting my emotional state in balance. So whatever you can do to mitigate stress in your life. Sometimes that's getting your work and life balance in order, and make sure you're doing your best to smooth out relationships and any points of friction in your life. and working on the things that you might be able to do to just lower your overall stress load. And I think that that's a tough one, because you don't want to start stressing about stress. You don't want to start, worrying about the worrying that you're doing. And I think just planning in some things that make you feel good, having fun, spending time with your friends and doing things and being around positive people, those are all things that you can do that will definitely take a lot of the load off. So winding down here, the final piece is when you are exercising, so you're trying to you feel better, enhance your recovery, enhance your testosterone. Long, slow distance cardio, and cardio is important. You got to have a strong heart. You keep your workouts and your exercise routines down to less than an hour, and there's something magical about that 45-minute, hour, 70-minute time frame where cortisol just keeps getting higher and higher and higher, and the gains or the progress that you make from your training just kind of dips off. It's almost an inverse relationship. The more cortisol that you produce, the more stressed out you are, the less you get from that training session. So try to keep your workouts under an hour, and do cardio. Gosh, you got to do that, but do things like high intensity interval training, and do things that or even if you are going to go for a run or a jog, do that and try to keep it to a slightly shorter duration than you might be reading about. So check that out and do a good job at managing sort of your whole program, and that your goals and your techniques should work together to move you forward, both by putting the throttle down and by taking your foot off the brake. So just wanted to throw some ideas out there for folks who want to get better to naturally through their diet and exercise, and people who just want to get better recovery and build more muscle and burn more fat. So those are things that we talk about a lot here at Training for Warriors. And if you have any questions at all, you can message me, or you can comment on the video, and I'll get back to you ASAP with some more details. But until next time, this is Coach Josh, live from Training for Warriors Portland, helping you bring out the warrior within.